How is the Toyman in the Superman universe and it make any sense whatsoever? It is really the Superman animated series where we can get a really glimpse at how that really can work in such a perfect way. Episode 4 of the animated series is called Fun and Games. Let's talk about this episode right now. Yes, I'm Pops, and yes, Superman animated series, something I touched on during Superman Day. I've proceeded to go on with the episodes, and this is the first one up. Fun and Games. Toyman is just that, a regular dude who attacks and creates chaos with toys. And this episode gives sort of an origin and backstory, but more importantly, it shows and showcases how that works within the Superman universe. First things first, we have a little street fight thing going down the road before Superman jumps into action to kind of save the day. And our thugs end up face to face with this little guy, throws this little rubber ball around the room, and it keeps accelerating as it hits an object and will even knock the person down. Now, Superman is on the case. He's trying to make his way there, of course. He gets the armored car, he does all of that. And when he gets with the ball sort of attacking him, he actually is able to use his hands to just catch. He's actually faster than the ball, obviously. So the first observation is that Toyman's kind of a nuisance to Superman. Like he's able to do things and create toys and things that are problematic within society and culture, and he has to kind of like deal with them to keep people safe. Well, coming to find out, the Toyman is actually targeting Bruno Mannheim. He's a local criminal that I usually kind of forget about in this universe. And there's going to be a tie here between Bruno's background and the Toyman's origin that we get to. Okay, no surprise, Lois is on the case. That's right. She's traced everything down to Bruno. She's the one asking him all the tough questions. Clark was actually dispatched to cover this little park event. Just happened to be where Bruno actually ended up. So, yeah, everybody's here. Jimmy, Lois, and Clark. So when these airplanes will attack Bruno and everyone starts running for cover, you got to figure out how on earth are you going to save the day, Clark? Well, what he does is he kind of pulls his little glasses down. He does his action, takes out the little airplanes with his little laser beams here. And that's right. His little heat vision knocks them out, but he's able to conceal that he's Clark. And I think that's what's interesting. Toyman is attacking the real world. And if Clark is around or whatever, he can't just, expose who he is and show everyone he's actually Superman. So again, it creates a tension and an interesting sort of adventure. It's not as though you can't believe Superman would lose to Toyman like head to head, or Toyman is going to create a device or something that Superman won't be able to handle. It's the fact of all of this working within the real world. And we see that whenever the Toyman strikes again. This time he attacks Bruno on his yacht with a giant metal rubber ducky. And when Bruno is met face to face with Toyman, this is the famous image that you can see here where he's got this little loop. Now, he does dip it into his bucket. What you don't realize is that it's sort of like a bubble, and that bubble blowing thing is creating something that actually will knock Bruno out. So, again, he's wearing that creepy mask. He's doing odd and strange and disturbed things. And I feel like this is a character that could work for a TV show, but doesn't need to be part of sort of live action. It definitely doesn't feel like it would be adapted well. Well, then we see Lois is actually the one that's targeted, and she receives this gift. And when she opens it up, she's knocked out. And of course, when she wakes up, she's actually dressed like this doll in this giant dollhouse. And this is where the story gets even interesting because now Lois is in danger from the Toyman, which makes, again, more sense. But she creates what is great. It's like this incredible backstory because Clark and Jimmy are doing research on Bruno and Toyman, and Toyman is using a pop-up book to explain his history to Lois. That's right. He's explaining where he came from, how Bruno showed up, how he's evil, that kind of thing, why the Toyman is actually targeting Bruno. This is possibly one of the best origin backstory ways of conveying information to the audience and making it appropriate for kids because you're getting both versions. You're getting Clark and Jimmy researching everything, and then Toyman and Lois. So you're getting something that's interesting and complicated, also dumbed down for the children, also comprehensive and covers a lot of room. One thing that can't go understated is how complex they make what the Toyman will do. He creates this very complicated, intricate. The details are phenomenal. It's also exceedingly dangerous. He's got Bruno strung up, and he's in front of a bunch of little toy soldiers that Lois actually saves him from by pushing them over, and they all sort of fall over. This is all happening long before Superman arrives. So, an episode that is very compact. There's a lot going on, a lot that transpires in this episode. And it's only within the last few minutes that we have Toyman trying to deal with Superman more directly, throwing this growing goop. Imagine sort of like a liquid Play-Doh that gets on Superman and then kind of grows like an organism was, won't come off of him. He doesn't quite know what to do. But you know, Superman, he actually has a solution. He spins around, he gets away from it. But it allows the Toyman to make an escape and self destruct the entire building. They got to figure out how to get away. Superman, of course, saves everyone. And yet Bruno has to live with the fact that the Toyman's still kind of out there, man. What are you going to do? And I think that is it. This is what makes the Toyman interesting. He's a villain that can kind of slink away from armed men, or he can be in a nuisance to the people that are around Superman, important to him. Superman has to constantly try to keep his identity under control. It's very interesting. It's one of these things where you feel like he's more of a street villain for an unpowered superhero, but he exists more in the Superman universe. And the animated series does such a great job of including a villain like this just after having Lex Luthor and the character that will become Metallo. So as a kid, I think it's got to be great to know that the Superman landscape of villains, the rogue gallery, is very, very broad, similar to what we see with Batman, but it makes sense even with Superman, who's this superpowered godlike character. So, with that, love your thoughts. I'm enjoying going back to Superman too. So, not giving up on Batman. Don't freak out, everybody. A Batman video is coming. We'll get that going too. So, thanks for watching, everybody. I am Pops.